I'm not going to sugarcoat this. If people aren't watching your videos, aren't subscribing to your channel, aren't coming back, it's not because of the algorithm. It's because your videos just don't give them a reason to stay. I know that sounds harsh, but reality is most creators aren't struggling because they're unlucky. They're struggling because nothing in their videos actually pull you through it. What that means is, if you're making vlog style content, for example, and nothing really happens in the video, people won't care. If you're reviewing products and it's just 10 minutes of non-connected thoughts, people are just going to click off, and you would as well. If your video just feels like a list of things instead of a journey, you'll lose people. And almost every time, the issue comes back to one thing. You don't understand storytelling. Not cinematic storytelling with dramatic music and fancy edits, just basic structure. And here's why that matters. Low retention kills distribution, and low satisfaction kills return viewers. So rather than wasting my time and yours telling you something that any 2-bit content guru on this platform can tell you while they sell some course to you, I want to break down a very basic but foundational storytelling framework that actually works. Not just on YouTube, but you'll see it on TV, movies, even games. And I'm going to show you how to use it properly. Number 1. Objective, problem, resolution. Every video should start with a clear objective. Why does this video exist and what are you trying to achieve? Then something gets in the way. That's the problem, the friction, the obstacle. And the video ends with the resolution. Whether you overcome the obstacle or not, either way, you need to give your viewer a payoff. If you watch TV or films, you'll start seeing this storytelling structure everywhere and you won't be able to unsee it. Let's say Lord of the Rings, for example. If Frodo just flew on the eagles to Mordor, chucked the ring into Mount Doom and made it back to the Shire in time for afternoon tea, that's not a very compelling story, is it? What makes it compelling is the adversity, the cost of getting there. And trust me, you need that same dynamic in your videos. For example, I've been editing Beard Meets Food's YouTube videos for years now. If you don't know him, he's been on YouTube for over a decade, taking on massive food challenges, and every single one of his videos follows this structure. At the beginning of the videos, he always sets the scene, where he is, what the challenge is that day. That's the objective. Then, the tension is layered in. Is the challenge undefeated? Is there a brutal time limit? Is there a big prize at stake? Is the food particularly difficult? Those details create the problem. Now the audience isn't just watching someone eat, they're watching someone overcome something. And if and when he usually does finish the challenge, that's your payoff, that's the resolution. Without that structure, it's just a boring video of a guy with a beard eating food. But this can apply to any channel. Let's say you run a tech review channel. Your objective could be, can I get this budget camera to perform as well as this high-end expensive camera? But the problem can be the camera's limitations, i.e. battery life, low light performance. And the resolution is you push that camera to its limits using creative workarounds and try to answer that question. Can it perform as well as the premium camera? If you've got a fitness channel, your objective could be complete a 7-day challenge of some kind. The problem is obviously fatigue, doubt, physical limits. And the resolution, you either complete the challenge or you fall short. But either way, there's a really compelling arc there. But if there's one thing that creators get wrong with this storytelling technique, and I see it time and time again, is they don't clearly define or understand their stakes. So what happens if you fail? And what happens if you succeed? And you need to answer these because this tells the viewer why the video exists in the first place. Like, why are you doing this? And if nothing changes either way, why should the viewer care? If you're doing a challenge and failing just means nothing, there's no tension there. If you're reviewing something and the outcome doesn't impact anything, then there's no weight. Stakes don't have to be overly dramatic, they just have to matter. Even if the only stakes is, for example, that tech review, I can't get this cheap camera to perform as well as the expensive camera. Therefore, I need to shell out thousands of pounds for this expensive camera, thus failing my challenge. Now it means something, now it's compelling. That turns what could be a really mundane side-by-side review that's like everything else on YouTube and turn it into something unique, entertaining, and memorable. By the way, if you're watching this video and you're struggling to think how can I apply this to my channel niche, like my specific thing, then comment below and let me know. Because going forward on this channel, I want to look at your channels, your videos, and sort of give you some pointers, tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. Not to tear anybody down, obviously, but just to help you make those necessary tweaks and implement these storytelling strategies that I'm talking about in these videos. So if you're serious about improving, leave a comment below. Next up, escalation. Raising the stakes. Now, oh my God, is this next step so crucial? Let's say you have implemented an objective. You've got your problem, you've got your resolution, like we've just discussed. But the problem is, the problem never gets bigger. And without that escalation, those stakes seem a little bit too low or too easy to overcome. A proper entertaining objective gets more difficult the more the video goes on. And all this helps that resolution at the end become that much sweeter.
Let me give you a real life example of this.
So I oversaw the storytelling and editing of a video for a friend of mine, and he set himself a challenge. He was bet £1,000 that he couldn't hit a 350-yard golf drive, and he only had 8 weeks to do it. That's the objective. Simple, clear. The obvious problem is that hitting 350 yards is very difficult, especially for a complete non-golfer, which he was. If that's all we showed, the video would have been fine, but not compelling though. What made it work so well was escalation. So to begin with, he didn't have any equipment, so we aimed to solve that mini problem. Then his form was terrible and needed improvement, so we worked to fix that problem. Later on, he picked up a small injury that sidelined him for a few weeks. Plus, on a tight 8-week deadline, time eventually started running out. Each new issue raised the pressure, and the most important thing, timing. We spaced these things throughout the video. If you reveal every obstacle in the first 90 seconds of the video, there's nowhere to go from there, and it's information overload. Plus, why spend your tension too early? Think of escalation like stacking weight on a barbell. You don't throw all the plates on all at once, you add them gradually, and every time you add one, the lift gets harder. That's how you maintain momentum. And because of that constant momentum, every introduction of a new complication made the viewer lean in more. That's escalation. Number 3, transformation. Why it matters. By the end of the video, something should change or be clearer than it was at the start. The viewer needs to understand something better, see something differently, or feel something shift. Basically, they need to have gone on a journey with you. If your video ends exactly where it started and the viewer feels completely unchanged having watched it, then it's just pointless content consumption at that point. Transformation is what turns random viewers into subscribers and die-hard consumers of your content. Because now they associate you with change and how your videos make them feel. And this isn't just something that you do once, this is a repeatable formula. Every single piece of content that you make on your channel can run through this lens. So before you film your next video, ask yourself these questions. What is the objective of this video? Not the title, not the vague idea. What am I actually trying to achieve on camera? What's the problem? What's in the way? What's causing the tension? And why might this fail? How can that problem escalate? Does it get harder as the video goes on? Is there increase in pressure, or does it just stay flat? And finally, what is the transformation? And if you can't clearly answer those questions, that's probably why your video feels loose or a bit forgettable. Slot your idea cleanly into objective, problem, escalation, resolution, and transformation. Once you build that habit and every video follows that arc, your channel starts to feel intentional, consistent, structured, and highly watchable. And that's when people stop sampling your content and start following your journey.